Live from clickorlando.com, News 6 Plus, and WKMG. We're getting results in your neighborhood now at 6:30 p.m.
All right, not sure if you noticed, but it's been a rainy start to the weekend. Thank you for joining us here live on News 6 Plus at 6:30. I'm Ginger Gadsden.
And I'm Justin Mormith. So let's get over to meteorologist Jonathan Kegas. He has a closer look at when things will start to dry up. I don't know, wake me up when September ends, right?
I was literally just going to say, give another 2 months and we'll be pretty good. But yeah, for the next couple of hours, we're certainly going to be doing some dodging high school football games, of course, getting underway in a little bit. Just make sure you're paying close attention, heeding the warnings of the lightning that's going to be out there. That's always a threat. Right now, it is coming down big time in Flagler County. We have a nice, healthy thunderstorm dropping very heavy rain from Bunnell into Flagler Beach. We'll take you closer in here. Beverly Beach, we're getting walked on as well with the super heavy rain coming through. See some purples popping up, indicating very heavy rain. That's rainfall rates over 4 to 5 inches per hour. Flagler Beach, again, the heavy stuff on top of us. Just some lighter stuff as we head down I-95 from Ormond Beach into Daytona Beach, into Edgewater, Oak Hill, DeLand into Deltona. Just a couple of scattered downpours around. We are watching some thunderstorms getting going right along the 429 and I-4. Sliding up into Dr. Phillips right around the Apopka area as well. Big game tonight between Dr. Phillips and Apopka. Going to be some thunderstorms around. Optimistic, though, that by the second quarter, most of this should be well east of us in Apopka. We have more thunderstorms firing up along the west coast, sea breeze along the I-75 corridor. So we're going to be watching that closely for more development later on this evening. We'll show you future radar coming up in about 15 minutes, guys.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Jonathan. Well, we have seen so much rain this week, and as Jonathan said, we got more on the way.
Oh, great. Yeah. News 6 reporter Catherine Silver spoke to emergency management in Seminole County about how they're taking a proactive approach.
The rounds of heavy rain just keep coming, and the inches are adding up. Families in Altamont are not taking any chances. The city has opened self-serve sandbag sites in preparation for a worst-case scenario. Here on the Little Wekiva River, you can see how high the water is. The county says it could reach flood stage. If it's minor, that means flooding near the river in Altamont. If it's moderate, we could see water on the roads and in low-lying homes. After Hurricane Ian, there was major flooding throughout this area. The downpour overloaded this river, and downed debris forced the water to flow elsewhere. It's why Seminole County has spent millions clearing out our creeks and repairing erosion. A project to stabilize the banks of Howell Creek just finished last month.
Is this a kind of a test for that? I mean, it's not a hurricane, but it is a lot of water we've gotten.
This is a lot of water. It's very tropical.
What else is the county doing to take a proactive approach?
We're looking at all the trouble areas. We're looking at any storm systems that are clogged because of debris.
Stormwater crews have been out clearing ditches like these in Riverbend to keep drainage systems working.
What this tells me is that Orlando and Orange County has been saturated, and those creeks and tributaries are making their way up.
Emergency management showed us what they're watching.
G Creek and Howell Creek are the big ones. Lake Howell was very high. In fact, we even put out a notice to Lake Howell if there are any boaters on Lake Howell that they need to do no wake.
As they prepare for more water.
This water level really isn't going down.
It's not.
And that's the concern, as we know we're going to get more rain.
Yeah, and that's the challenge. It's doing what it's supposed to do. Unfortunately, there's just not a lot of capacity for all that water.
In Seminole County, Catherine Silver, Getting Results, News 6.
Now, because of all this rain we've been getting, the city of Altamont Springs has been offering sandbags for the past couple of days to help people prevent flooding at their homes.
Sunshine State, am I right? We need to change that. Now, those sites, though, they closed at 5, but we wanted to walk you through how to use these sandbags. You never know when you're going to need this information, but there is a technique to it. Experts at Lowe's say that they should be stacked like bricks. So the bags used on the first layer should be lengthwise and parallel to the direction of the water flow. For the second and third layer, you should stagger the bags on top of the previous bags. Again, think like you're maybe laying some bricks here. And if you need to go higher than 3 levels, build it in a pyramid shape. Lowe's says that the base should be 3 times wider than it is tall. I don't know if we've ever gone through how to properly use sandbags.
That is so helpful. We need to bookmark that.
Yes.
So when we do have like any sort of tropical systems come through, you're going to need that.
Absolutely. And remember, you can pinpoint weather where you live with our free Pinpoint Weather app. All you have to do is search WKMG in your app store.
Well, nowadays, if you're feeling the pinch at the grocery store, you are certainly not alone.
Yeah, according to the USDA, even though inflation has cooled, prices at most grocery stores continue to climb, and it's forcing so many families to make cutbacks in order to make ends meet.
One of the top concerns I consistently hear about is high grocery prices.
That's FTC Chair Lena Khan at the first ever public meeting of the strike force on unfair and illegal pricing. Khan points to the pandemic as a big reason for those high prices.
We also know that in the years since, costs have fallen and supply chains have improved. Many items, though, are still too costly.
It's affecting all income groups.
Corey Wagner, a senior industry analyst with Savings.com, tells News 6 that a new poll of roughly 1,000 U.S. adults found that nearly 80% made cuts to their grocery lists.
And I've noticed myself change my shopping habits because I see how high that prices are of some items. And I think to myself, I just don't think it's worth that much.
Wagner says more than half of the people surveyed are now turning to generic or store brands.
Even though you might like Coca-Cola, if the store brand has something that is similar but lower cost, people are more open to that nowadays.
Their survey also shows that people are more open to clipping coupons, buying in bulk, and meal planning.
That's something that can help you reduce impulse buys or non-essential purchases if you know the meals that you're going to be making week by week.
And remember, if you have an unemployment or a consumer issue, just send us an email at makeendsmeet@wkmg.com. Justin Mormouth, getting results, News 6. You gotta just make the changes wherever you see necessary. I do think that shopping around is a really good way to do it. You know,
Sure.
Different prices at Aldi, at Trader Joe's compared to Publix and maybe Whole Foods. So you can kind of get a few things there, a few things at Publix, whatever those.
And it really helps
Yeah.
to sign up for their text messages or emails because they'll tell you when they have a BOGO, and I'm right on it.
I kind of like making a game out of it too. It's like, can we stay below X amount of dollars? And make a game with whoever you go grocery shopping with or yourself, and then see if you can go below that.
How good are you at this game?
Not good. But I like trying, or at least like saying, hey, the goal is to
try
make
it.
it, let's not go over $100 today. That's impossible.
Good luck.
Right now at clickorlando.com, we do have an article listing some of the best store brand dupes for, those brand foods. And all these were taste tested too by Consumer Reports. They include cheaper dupes for Hidden Valley Ranch, Skippy Peanut Butter, and Heinz Ketchup.
The thing that got me is that I used to be a label snob until I learned like Trader Joe's and Aldi are the same company.
Yeah.
So you're getting the same product, so just don't worry about the name.
Yeah.
All right. Well, having the baby blues is common for new moms after a baby is born, but postpartum depression is a much more intense condition that at least 1 in every 5 new moms will experience.
And this morning on Breakfast with Bridget, anchor Bridget Ellison spoke with a doctor about a new pill to treat it.
And zuranolone targets a specific neurotransmitter, one of the chemicals in the brain, that we think is a big contributor to postpartum depression. Other antidepressants have been shown to be somewhat effective, as has psychotherapy for certain forms of postpartum depression. But this new drug is a really important additional option and really a first-line treatment that doctors have at their disposal now for someone who is diagnosed with a serious postpartum depression.
And you can catch Breakfast with Bridget live weekday mornings at 7:30 on the News 6 streaming app for your smart TV, News 6 Plus, like you're doing right now, or you can go to clickorlando.com.
All right, you may have heard us mention it before, but we can't wait to see you on the road as WKMG hits the road to Melbourne. We'll be broadcasting the stories that matter to you in the community most live at Squid Lips on Pineapple Avenue from 4 to 7 on September 18th. We hope you're able to join us. And it's not too late for you to give us a tip on what you want us to cover. You can take out your phone right now and scan the QR code you see on your screen. It'll take you to clickorlando.com/hitstheroad, where you can fill out this form. We want to hear about anything and everything from issues in the community to success stories. We really look forward to hearing from you and then seeing you out there on the 18th.
Yeah, with beautiful Indian River Lagoon right there as a
yeah.
backdrop. I was just out there today. So. Really nice. Hey, let's take a look at what's trending right now on Central Florida's #1 news website, clickorlando.com. This story was wild last night. An Orlando couple is suing Orlando police and a number of other agencies after they say a SWAT raid back in 2020 based on false accusations has left them traumatized. Their lawsuit says they were dragged from their home and their 18-month-old child was taken from them for months. And this was all after a cyber tip alleged the couple were suspects in a child sex case. That case dropped in 2021 when a suspect was found in Indiana.
Yeah, but this couple's lives, it's been turned upside down.
That's so scary to think about, that just a tip from an unknown source can spur something like that.
Especially with having their child taken away for so long.
Mm.
Here are some of the other top stories online right now. The Great Wolf Lodge is set to open its first ever Florida resort this month. We'll show you where it's coming to. And finally, a lot of you are clicking on one of our News 6 Insider contests. We're giving away 5 Philip Norelco Prestige S9000 shavers. Oh my gosh. You could have shaved by the time I said that name. Insiders can enter to win as many times as they want every day through September 16th. If you're not an insider already, what are you waiting for? It is free to sign up.
With a name like that, I imagine that that's probably a rather expensive
it sounds
gift
like
that
a
we're
robot.
giving
It
out.
sounds like it just shaves you automatically.
Hey, listen, you can't skimp on when it comes to that.
You got to keep it all tight.
You got
Get your lineup right.
Yeah.
All right, you can expect to see runners packing Cranes, Roost Park, and Altamont Springs this weekend.
Yeah, it's all to honor the heroes who died on September 11th. How this 5K is getting results for first responders. Jonathan.
We have more storms firing up as we speak, guys. We're going to pinpoint where they are headed and jump right into your weekend with, of course, more storms on the way.
All of these things combined have just had a tremendous effect on the mental and emotional wellness of our kids.
And it's not always easy to talk about mental health, but this Winter Park Foundation has been doing it for nearly 3 decades. We're going to show you how they're getting results for students. You're watching News 6 at 6:30 live on News 6 Plus. We're getting results in Longwood, St. Cloud, and all of Central Florida. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Your weekend evening traffic alert. We do have a lot of weather moving through, so a lot of this construction may or may not happen. So just be careful along 417. Obviously, we talk about Lake Nona a lot because from on 417 down towards Lake Nona Boulevard, we do get some lane closures. Also, 429 out by Winter Garden Ocoee, our turnpike interchange out here, especially your ramps. Every evening, there are closures scheduled. So just be careful as you're cruising out there, but keep in mind, we do have a rather weather-filled weekend. I'm Trooper Steve with your News 6 traffic alert. Drive safely. Have a great weekend. I'll catch you Monday morning.
All right, let's take a live look now over downtown Orlando from the Light Orlando Delivering Hope camera. Lovely. Love this Friday night weather we're having. The weather, I'm so tired of the rain. I want to go back to Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
Oh, so you stop it right now. Because it was nice and cool there, too.
It was like...
I feel like most people said the opposite.
I know,
get me out of Pennsylvania.
If they're not playing baseball, don't send me back.
All right, is that a big shelf cloud we're looking at? What was that?
That one's just a nice big dark cloud. We did have that shelf cloud the other day, though.
Dadgummit, I thought I was good on that.
Look for that lowering.
I listened.
You
to what
see
you
it more
said.
at the beach or what? Like
Yeah,
with the
you
shelf
do. So
cloud?
it was kind of rare to see it there because you have the warmer air going up and over the cooler air, and then you get that gnarly little.
It's a
cloud
crazy.
there.
When you see those at the
They're
beach,
awesome.
oof.
Yeah,
they're ominous looking.
Yes, they are. And typically, a few minutes after you see that, that's when the ominous stuff comes in. You get that
Get on out.
wind and the heavy rain. Get on out of there. We have some of that coming to the beach later tonight. So the next couple of days, the beaches are going to be up. We haven't had much rain, believe it or not, in Brevard County out of all of this, especially closer to the coast. Right now, we are watching some very heavy stuff just exiting us in Palm Coast, closer to Marineland. We'll take you closer in. We've been watching you guys for the last couple of hours now, as this has been pretty much right on top of Bunnell, and especially for Beverly Beach into Flagler Beach, Palm Coast, still some lightning strikes there. So some big time rain and wind coming through right now. No severe warnings, so we're not talking about damaging storms by any means, but it's certainly gusty. The next spot we are watching now is this new development just to the west of I-4. This is coming out of Dr. Phillips, closing in on Oak Ridge and Ocoee. Oakland, we're dry at the moment, but this is all lifting up. Lockhart, we have a new healthy downpour, and that's what we were just looking at on the Orlando Skycam. We were looking in that direction. So Apopka right now, we have a big game getting ready to get underway as we between Dr. Phillips and Apopka. Just some lighter stuff right now. Watch for some lightning, though, close by with that developing storm if you happen to have this dialed up on your pinpoint weather app right now. Nonetheless, this is going to continue to all push towards the coast later on tonight, so something that we are watching. All right, Future Radar, I think, doing a pretty good job tonight. As we move towards that 8, 9 o'clock hour, most everything starts to push towards the coast, so really heads up high school football games tonight along the I-95 corridor. Second half, we could be dealing with some nasty thunderstorms. There's 7 o'clock on your Saturday morning. Palm Bay, Rockledge, Titusville, we're looking pretty good. Once we get to the afternoon, you guessed it, more storms fire back. It is going to be that west to east motion again, so very similar to what we're dealing with right now and through the rest of your evening. Once we get beyond 7 o'clock, again, UCF game tomorrow, kick just before 7 o'clock. I'm optimistic that, well, there could be delay early. We're at least going to have to do some dodging early on at the stadium. This quickly all races closer to the beaches and then continues to push out of here. So I think at least the second half of the game, you're not going to have to worry at all about those storms. There we go with that very dark cloud again. 79 degrees at the airport. That's an ominous look there with our Light Orlando Delivering Hope Skycam for you. We're at 82 in Palm Coast, 79 in Kissimmee. Now here's a look at your pinpoint accurate forecast.
Your forecast is sponsored by Florida Lottery.
Temperatures tomorrow back in the low 90s. We're hanging right around 90 degrees in Palm Coast, Cape Canaveral, New Smyrna Beach. Pinpoint accurate 7-day forecast. Temperature is going to get back to the lower 90s again over the next few days. Rain chances still staying elevated through the weekend, and then ramp back up even further, guys, getting into the early part of next work week.
All right, Jonathan, thank you. Next week marks 23 years since the September 11th attacks. So this weekend, dozens will gather at Cranes Roost Park in Altamont Springs to remember and honor the heroes who died that day.
News 6's Mark Lehman explains how the Tunnel to Towers 5K race is getting results for first responders now.
Organizers tell me there are a lot of preps happening today for this race, and it's really much more than that. When runners leave the starting line here tomorrow morning, they'll be running with a purpose and as a tribute to those who gave their lives in the line of duty. Now, here's what things looked like last year for the race through Cranes Roost Park. This will be the 12th annual Tunnel to Towers 5K in Central Florida. Now, it's called Tunnel to Towers in memory of New York firefighter Stephen Siller. He died in the September 11th attacks after running 3 miles in full gear through the Brooklyn Battle Battery Tunnel to the Twin Towers, all to save as many people as possible. Now there are 75 races across the country. Race director Kyle Albano tells me more than 2,000 are expected here tomorrow to honor fallen first responders and military.
We'll have military running in their ruck packs. We'll have first responders, law enforcement running in full gear like Stephen did that day. And just an amazing morning.
As runners are honoring the lives lost, they're also raising money for several causes. Nearly all of the proceeds go towards programs that include outreach for homeless veterans, paying off mortgages for first responders and Gold Star families who left behind small children, and building homes for severely injured veterans. Now, out here at Cranes Drews Park, each of the people in this race will be running for their own reasons. The race director tells me 40 firefighters from the Orlando Fire Department will be running in honor of one of their own who recently lost her battle with cancer. Tomorrow's race gets underway at 7 in the morning with a ceremony, and then the race begins at 7:30. In Altamont Springs, Mark Lehman, Getting Results, News 6.
I just am happy to see that all these years later, that the memories of those people who died are still being kept alive.
It's still so fresh, and I don't think it'll ever fade.
It shouldn't.
Yeah,
it shouldn't
right.
fade. Well, in the early 90s, Winter Park Memorial Hospital was sold. Now, a foundation was set up with proceeds from the sale. It's a mission to serve the communities of Winter Park, Maitland, and Eatonville.
Yeah, and our Julie Broughton took a visit to the community center, which was also built with those funds, and she found out one of their core programs is still getting results 30 years later.
You can't build a great building on a weak foundation.
I love that it's a huge open room so the kids can just run and they can just have a great time.
And you can probably say the same for mental health.
That's the goal of tonight, being healthy, happy, and spending time together. That's the key to good mental health, right?
That's why the Winter Park Health Foundation is holding this Family Fun Night to help open a conversation about mental well-being.
We just like getting out as a family and doing things together. And when there's free services available to us, close to home, you can't beat it.
The open house is part of a program called Chill.
He's found a Pokemon book to look at all his favorite Pokemon.
A free in-school mental health counseling service in partnership with 12 Orange County Public Schools, serving Winter Park, Maitland, and Eatonville.
Can you give me an ow? So he was feeling scared, huh?
Chill provides free, confidential in-school counseling to students and their families.
Wow.
Thomas Lenz brought his son Cameron and daughter Nora.
Helping them to learn with the strategies to work through those situations.
So you started Chill 30 years ago?
We did. In the late 90s.
Deb Watson says the program works. It's been critical in addressing stressors like standardized testing, social media, and the pandemic.
They've got to be successful in school. And, you know, when you are not able to focus, you're not able to cope, and you're distracted by emotional health issues, you may not have the confidence, then it's really going to be a barrier to learning.
Chill is funded by a grant by the Winter Park Health Foundation. It's just one of about 35 to 40 community education programs hosted right here at the Center for Health and Wellbeing in Winter Park.
The 80,000 square foot building is designed as a hub for healthy living. Nicholas Abrahams, president and CEO of the foundation, gave me a tour.
That's the entire idea behind the center with our partners at Advent Health, is that you can come to one location and you can talk with your sports therapist, you can go to your primary care physician, attend a class at Crosby Wellness Center.
We have a wonderful class today, the Pillars of Healthy Living.
And of course, plenty of meeting space open to the public. Great buildings are designed for the people inside.
Is that where your ticket went?
Lenz will tell you this one is working for him.
To be able to bring my kids here and just experience community together, but also let them know that mental health is an important aspect of their life. I've never seen that guy before.
Oh, I have him.
You have him?
That's what it's all about, though.
Yeah, for sure. That's great. Now, all the programs offered at the center are free and open to the public. You don't have to be a resident of Winter Park to participate. That's even better.
Oh, yeah.
So if you know someone getting results, we want to know about them. You can nominate someone you know by going to our website, clickorlando.com. You'll find the form under the menu tab. Go to the Contact Us link and remember to choose the Getting Results Award option. You might just see them featured right here in the coming weeks.
A local blood donation center offering up an incentive. Halloween and horror fans might find this hard to refuse, how you can get results and free tickets to one of the most popular haunts in town. We're back in 2 minutes.
Coming up Monday, the cost to build a new home could soon go way up in one county. Who's looking to raise building fees to the highest level in the state and what developers are doing to try and stop it. Plus, your pinpoint weather and traffic every 10 minutes. We'll see you Monday for News 6 Morning starting at 5.
Welcome back. Tonight, a local blood donation center offering up an incentive. Halloween and horror fans might find this pretty hard to refuse.
All right, so here's the deal. Next,
Are
I'm
you either?
refusing
Yeah,
it.
you're neither.
Next Friday, September 13th, One Blood's Big Red Bus will be at the iHeartRadio studios in Maitland from 7:30 in the morning until 6:30 that evening. Anyone who donates blood there during that time will get a SeaWorld Hallowscream ticket. Now, those tickets typically set you back about $50 to $65 for a single ticket. Donors will also get a Halloween t-shirt and a wellness checkup. And if you go to Hallowscream, you're going to need a wellness checkup because those people are not right.
No, I mean,
When
they came in here.
We had some visitors, and honestly, this is hard to see, but they were the creepiest people or things.
And that's just like the small little piece of it.
That's it, yeah.
I thought Hallowscream would be a little bit,
Tame?
more
No.
G-rated or PG as opposed to
It's
like
not.
Halloween Horror Nights.
They're scary.
Apparently it's not.
They're scary. All right, remember, you can donate blood anytime. You don't have to wait for this event. You can don't have to wait until next Friday. Learn more about how to schedule an appointment. Head to our website. It's right there on your screen, oneblood.org/donate-now. It's always a good thing.
Yeah, always a good time to donate blood. It's always a good time to check the weather on a Friday night too. Jonathan Kegas.
Football. Friday night football.
In question, depending on obviously where.
Location, yeah, especially along I-4 and then east. There's the radar kind of filling in just a little bit. We have some rocking storms trying to get going right along the 429, watching a pop. We'll be at a big game there tonight. And of course, anywhere along the coast later on this evening, so maybe after halftime in parts of Volusia County and into Brevard County, all that stuff that's developing in interior Central Florida now is going to be heading in your direction. So we're watching that closely through the evening. Obviously, lightning is the big thing. Not really looking at severe weather, but we know how bad the lightning always is.
Very dangerous.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Jonathan. And thank you for watching News 6 at 6:30. You can stream News 6 online anytime at our News 6 Plus Smart TV app.
We break news on clickorlando.com. See you later.